how do you then become somebody who can show up on podcasts and willingly share about all of these experiences and some of the vulnerabilities and difficulties and things? How are you not hiding somewhere, saying, don't ask me any personal questions?
Before I understood that I had PTSD, I couldn't. And even then, when I first started doing podcasts, it was really mainly to promote the books. It wasn't really to promote me. It wasn't really to talk about myself personally. It evolved into that because people kept. Let me put it this way: when I was in my career, it's a very competitive environment out there. There were times when I would take assignments because everybody else who had done it or tried it or was asked to do it either said that it couldn't be done or they had failed. So I was constantly putting myself on that bleeding edge. And failure was not an option. So, and then when I would succeed, everybody wanted my job. So I was getting arrows going in. I was getting daggers coming out. It was a very stressful environment, and you could not, on any level, all of the years I was in careers, I was reporting to chief executive officers. I couldn't tell them I'm working through addiction issues. I couldn't tell them I had chronic depression. I couldn't tell them there was no way that you could express any form of weakness or you would have been eaten up. I would have been eaten up, especially somebody like me, where if somebody had decided to attack that weakness before I was prepared to be comfortable with it myself, I spent years living a double life, one at home, one at work, and not knowing how to blend the two.
Very hard.
It's only been the last few years that I've grown comfortable with discussing some levels of what's going on. As I said, I can't ever talk about before 13. I can only talk about the mistakes and the things that I've experienced that were difficult after 13 because those were of my own making. I hold responsibility for those. I had to take responsibility for those. I had to take responsibility for why I would do stupid things. And so that I've grown to come more comfortable with. But it's only been a couple of years and it's been a growth process.
Yeah. Right. Well done. Congratulations to you, because I think, I think we collectively need to be able to share with each other and witness one another, because that helps us to understand that we're all human and we're all part of the collective. And sometimes people are hurting and sometimes people are not hurting.